What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mile High Hockey, presented by our good friends over at Mountain High Appliance. Mile High Hockey coming to you 5 days a week during the playoffs. Happy to have my guy Drew Spivak back with me today. We were here on Monday breaking down everything about game one. Well, since then, we've had a game two, and tonight we've got a game three. Mike and I chatted a lot about game two yesterday, so we can tap into that a little bit, but I want to shift the focus forward, Drew, because we learned a lot at morning skate this morning. Let's start with Gabriel Landeskog. Jared Bednar saying, quote, "We'll see if he plays, and it's based on his gut feeling." Elsewhere, it sounds like the coach is leaning toward him playing. 1 to 10, where are you at on this saga in terms of like, can we please just have this happen and get it over with and not have to always focus on it? Just know 92 is going to be back out there on the ice.
I'm at about a 25, if I'm being totally honest, because like there's the one part of me that's incredibly excited that it appears by all indications that this day is finally here. We're finally going to see 92 back in an Avalanche sweater in a playoff game. As exciting as that is, there's a big part that's just like, let's just get this over with. Like this thing has been going on for 3 years now. This kind of back and forth, like, will he play, will he won't play in the playoffs, has basically been going on for a better part of 2-3 weeks now. It's like, let's just get some finality to this whole thing so we can know, hey, he's back. We know we're good to go. There's no setbacks. Let's move on with this whole thing and just hope that everything goes smoothly from here on out and that he's going to play well. But I think and I hope that tonight is finally going to be that night after all the shenanigans in game two with the pregame stuff and everything. It feels like tonight is going to be the night, which is kind of what it's been trending towards all along, despite all the shenanigans from game one or game two.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I just feel like in front of the home crowd, I mean, you got to make Gabe a starter, right? Like they'll pop when Alan Rhodes says, Avalanche captain, number 92, right. Gabriel Landeskog. I mean, Drew, we've been in that building a bunch and we've been there for some special moments and heard some pops, but that pop may be one of the loudest in the history of Ball Arena if they do announce him as a starter this evening. I mean, the roof's just going to blow off, and the Avalanche can get an emotional boost from that as well, and hopefully come out and get up 2-0, 3-0 in that first period. I mean, heck, they had a game against the Lightning in the Stanley Cup final where they won 7-1. They had multiple games against Nashville and Edmonton where they blitzed them early. I think it would be real good for the Avs to parlay that emotional boost into, heck, you look up after 20 minutes and it's 3-0 Avs. Great. That's the kind of thing you're hoping for tonight with Landeskog potentially, we think, returning.
I love how we have to keep giving that
caveat.
I was just like,
we don't know.
Think, we hope, we might see him tonight. But no, I think you mentioned it. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is like, we know we're going to get an incredible atmosphere tonight. With or without Gabe, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. But then you tack on the fact that Gabe is probably playing in this game tonight. But I think the biggest question for me is, how long does that last? How long does that emotional lift last for? Can they carry it through a second period into a third period? Or is it just kind of, all right, yeah, we got the initial pop if he is announced as a starter, which I'm not totally sure is going to be the case. Because remember,
you got it. 1,032 days.
I know,
you got to do it. You got to do it.
But you got to think of the matchup thing because you know the playoffs, you want to match up. So unless Pete DeBoer throws his third line out there,
which he's probably not doing.
He's probably not doing. No. He's probably going to go with the top line. He's going to go with the new finish line that he's got with Rantanen and Hintz and Granlund. But I think if he does, if he does start, we'll see how long the initial wave goes. I hope it lasts the entire game. I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of how he plays, how he fits in with that third line, which we assume he's going to be the third line. We assume he's going to take the place of Miles Wood in this game tonight. I just want to see how he plays. How long can that thing go? Because I'm still not totally convinced, based on what I saw with him in Loveland, that he's fully ready to step in and play in a live playoff hockey game against a really, really good Dallas Stars team.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the $1 million question too. Is like, I watched him in Loveland. I was there on Friday. I watched the game on Saturday. He looked pretty good, but then you remind yourself he's playing against AHL players, right. And there was also things you still didn't love. And tonight's the NHL playoffs. It's just a twist of irony that Wood had the turnover in overtime of game 2 that ultimately led to the Dallas game winner. That's who Gabe will likely replace. But again, I'm not tweeting anything. I'm not making anything official until I get that official sheet from the Avalanche, not the NHL one,
right,
where it said Gabe was playing and Wood was out, but the Avalanche one, which if you're looking for an exact time, everyone should come about 7:34, 7:35 when we have that sheet in our hands that says Gabe Landeskog is in the lineup. But let's talk about other lineup changes, Drew, because we learned a ton at morning skate this morning. Sounds like Sam Malinsky will come in for Eric Johnson. Sounds like Arturi Lehkonen and Valeri Nichushkin could be flip-flopped in a couple different places. Gabe Landeskog could be on the power play. You might see Ryan Lindgren with Malinsky and Sam Girard with Josh Manson. What do you make of all this sort of shuffling in a 1-1 series?
I think it's needed. We talked a little bit about this on Monday, especially on the defensive side of things with Eric Johnson. As great of a story as it is having Eric Johnson back for, kind of that veteran leader in the room, he's just not the same player he was, especially when you go back to even before they won the Stanley Cup. There's a reason that they were so willing to part ways with him once his contract was up, because he's just not the same player. And it showed, I thought, in games 1 and 2 that he can't quite keep up with these speedy Dallas teams. So I like the idea of bringing him in or putting him on the bench, bringing Sam Malinsky in. And as much as I don't love the idea of splitting up the deep pair of Ryan Lindgren and Josh Manson, because I think those two have been really, really good in those first 2 games.
They have.
You have no choice, because you can't roll out there with Sam Malinsky playing with Sam Girard and keep Manson and Lindgren together. So I like the idea of doing that. As far as the forward pairs go, I think you got to see some sort of movement from Jared Bednar tonight. You got to break up those top 2 lines, because if we're being honest, Nathan MacKinnon out of that top 6, he's the only one that's really performed, and he hasn't really done it at even strength. I mean, the guys have only got goals from Arturi Lehkonen, Charlie Coyle, Jack Drury, Devon Taves, and Parker Kelly at even strength.
Okay.
And the Lehkonen one was the kick-in goal. So really,
was O'Connor to make it 3-2 Avs in game 2 at even strength?
it was not at even strength.
Okay.
So, or at least I don't think
the crazy backhand flip.
Crazy backhand.
Yeah.
It might have been at even strength. But from what I
but
remember,
it's like 4th line guys, not second or first line
exactly
guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get more from your middle 6 no matter what.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked tonight that if we see Jonathan Drouin back together with Nathan MacKinnon, because that's his rightful place anyway. Those 2 guys are so good together all the time anyway. I wouldn't be shocked to see Netchus and Nichushkin swap lines, and basically the wings are just playing on different lines tonight. But you got to get more. I know that as good as the Avs, and Jared Bednar, I think he even said this yesterday, that he likes what Brock Nelson and Val Nichushkin and Drouin have done defensively, but you got to get more offense out of those guys. If you're going to win this game, you got to get more from them at even strength.
I mean, I mentioned it to Mike yesterday. I felt like the broadcast was talking more about Jack Drury and Parker Kelly and Logan O'Connor. I heard those names more than I legitimately heard Jonathan Drouin and Valeri Nichushkin and Brock Nelson. Like, I was sitting there going, is the 4th line the new 2nd line? I mean, they scored 2 of the 3 goals, but it's insane that like Nelson's this vet who's been awesome. Nichushkin's playoff history, off the ice it's bad. On the ice it's incredible. And then Drouin, he's this guy that's been this incredible story of comeback playing with MacKinnon. But like you said, he's not playing with MacKinnon at this very moment, so that probably needs to change. But man, they're not winning 15 more games unless this 2nd line steps up.
No, and you're right. And it's great that you're getting this type of production from the 4th line, because you need that type of production if you're going to win a Stanley Cup. Because I went into this series thinking, okay, the top 2 lines are probably going to cancel each other out. They're so good and so talented, they're probably going to cancel each other out. I thought we would see more from the 3rd line. I think Charlie Coyle's been good. Kiwi Ranta, I don't think has been very good at all. Ross Colton obviously played game 1, got hurt in that one. We didn't see him at all in game 2. I thought we would see more from that 3rd line, but to get it from the 4th line is a good thing. But you've got to get more production from your high-powered guys. Like, I want to see more from Val Nichushkin, he's kind of been a ghost other than the overtime in game 2.
He looked good in overtime, but you're right. The other 6 periods, he has not been noticeable.
No, not at all. And Marty Necas, like, are we seeing playoff Marty again? This was kind of the knock on him in Carolina. He's great in the regular season, but what does he do in the playoffs? We're kind of seeing that again. I thought he popped a little bit in game 1. Game 2, I didn't notice Marty Necas at all. So you got to get more production from those guys. Hopefully now, being at home, having last change, getting those matchup advantages, hopefully that they're going to be able to take advantage of this and jump out early and often and play better at even strength tonight.
Well, and what's crazy is we haven't even talked about it as we preview game 3, but the Landeskog situation has overshadowed it. You'll also have Rantanen and Duchesne in the building tonight for the Stars. I mean, 2 Avalanche who scored a lot of goals here. Rantanen way more successful, won a cup, obviously, but Duchesne was a decent player here for a little while before they got sick of his antics. I mean, that's just another thing to add to this kind of pot boiling tonight. I know 95 will get booed every time he touches the puck. Drew, I was there at Mikko's return in the regular regular season. 96 got booed pretty much every time he touched the puck. I mean, there is going to be real vitriol towards those two guys, along with celebrating Gabe. It's only round one. I get it. It's only round one. But this is going to be one of the more intense hockey games we've witnessed at Ball Arena since the Cup run in 2022.
It's only round one, but it doesn't feel like round one.
Correct.
Because of the opponent that you're playing in. These are high stakes because I think, and I've said this all along, that I think the winner of this series is going to represent the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup final this year. So the stakes are unbelievably high. And what do we see from Mikko Rantanen tonight? Because game one, he was a ghost. But guess what? Game two, he got bumped up to that top line with Rupe Hintz and Mikael Granlund. He was a much better player, much more noticeable. I think he hit the post at one point in that game. So he was a definite factor in that one. You know he's going to get booed tonight, but you know he wants to come out and perform and show the Avalanche, hey, this is why you shouldn't have traded me. So it's going to be a huge, huge matchup for the Avs, and I try and slow him down. And I'm curious to kind of see what the crowd reaction is going to be, because I think now that everything, the dust is settled with the, him coming back and everything for that first time, it's going to be nothing but boos for 95 and 96.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I cannot wait to be there and get back with you all on Thursday, tomorrow, and break it all down with my guy, Mike Evans. I appreciate Drew sitting in. He'll be back on Friday as we start looking ahead towards game 4, which is until Saturday. So much going on in this Avs and Stars series, and we've got you covered on Mile High Hockey, and we will see you in 24 hours.